in order to keep the market balanced, we need 150,000 new homes in Ontario per year for the next 10 years, 1.5 million new homes. So I kind of should have known this right off the top of my head, but I double checked, said, well, what was the supply annually average for the last 10 years, right? And it was 70,000. So it's more than double. And it's an admirable goal, and there's going to be more new homes because of a lot of the things that they're doing, but whether they can actually get that many approved and get that many built, it's still probably going to fall a little bit short. So I mean, it's economics 101. There's a lot of demand. I think our friends to the south kind of forgot what made America great in the first place, and that was immigration. So if you're Muslim or if you're coming to America, it's not quite as friendly as it was before. So a lot of those people are coming to Canada, and students, and so our net in-migration is significant and getting bigger. And those people, they don't really want to move to Saskatchewan. I hope nobody's from Saskatchewan, but really, no, I mean, they really want to move to the cities. I mean, it's Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal. So the GTA is going to be still under a lot of pressure for the next 10 years. And I think that, for somebody to take some capital and preserve it and build it, real estate, to me, is one of the, I mean, I'm a little bit biased, but maybe a lot biased, but I think it's basically one of the best ways to create wealth, because whether you're moving in or whether you're buying it for a rental, not every year, but if you take an average of 20 years, you've got appreciation that develops. Some years it's flat, some years it's not, but if you hold it long enough, and your mortgage comes down, so that it's a great way. There's an old saying that we have: you can't outsave real estate, in terms of just nobody would, because all these people, the quants, they go do these analysis, say, well, if you didn't buy and you rented, maybe it's a little less expensive, and if you took that extra money and saved it every year for 25 years, then you're ahead of the game, or you're at least even, but nobody would ever do that, right? So to me, it's always been the best way for an average person to build wealth. If you really understand the industry and get to talk to a lot of developers, like if a developer goes out and buys land today, they have a whole new set of land costs. They have a whole new set of Section 37 and levies and park levy that they have to pay for the city. And the construction costs are going to be the same for everybody. Maybe bigger companies are going to get a little better deal, like Mattamy. But I mean, it's probably not going to be possible within the next 12 to 24 months to come out anywhere within an hour and a half of GTA for less than about $11.50 square foot. That's going to be kind of the new kind of floor price. And places like Oakville, Hamilton, Milton, East, Whitby, Ajax, there's very little under 1,100 anywhere. And I think, a lot of them don't have the same supply and demand constraints as Oakville, because, to get something approved in Oakville is not the easiest thing in the world. And same in Milton. Different municipalities have different jurisdictions. The other thing I always like to talk about too is just the economics of pre-construction, because most times you're dealing with a 15 or 20% deposit. So it's only recently that anybody's come out with a 10% deposit, and it's usually just because of the financial strength of the company that can do it, because really what it means is either a bigger covenant for a construction loan or more equity, which neither thing the developer really likes to do if he can help it, right? But if you think to yourself, well, gee, let's say we've got an average of a 3-year delivery, what's the average annual rate of appreciation of real estate going to be for the next 3 years? So I'll ask you guys a question. I mean, everybody has a different opinion. I mean, what would be a number that you would think?
10%.
Well, you're going to be, sorry?
6 to 10.
This is going to be so easy, How about 2, 3? No, but nobody really knows, right? But let's say it was 5 or 4. It doesn't really matter. Just it's an illustration, right? So if you purchase a home that's, let's say, $800,000, right, and it's 4%, and it's a 3-year delivery, it's about $100,000, right? $32,000 if you do the math. Because of the business I'm in, I got good at calculating small percentages on big numbers, So, but that would be roughly $100,000, right? Well, if your deposit is, and that's at 4%, So if your deposit is 80, because don't forget the appreciation is on the asset value, not on the deposit, right? So even if it's a modest 4%, or even if it's 2%, that equity that you build before the closing based on the deposit is pretty good.
That's where.
So that's really, to me, the magic of pre-sales. You know, we used to do a lot of work for Interwest, which was a company that sold a lot of ski resorts and golf courses and things like that. And they had 2 boardrooms at the end, either end of their. One was called Logic, and that was where the accountants and the CFOs and all the economics, logic, the mathematical analysis, how do we price this, what do we do? And then at the other end of the room, at the other end of the hallway, they had a boardroom called Magic. And that was when we got to go and dream up, wild ideas of what do we do. And I remember in June of 2000, we launched the first community that was in Blue Mountain in Collingwood. It was called the Grand Georgian. And they made that ballroom of the Old Mill Hotel, which was where the launch was. Like, it was mature fir trees. I mean, it was like snowing when you came in June. I mean, it was really quite a spectacular. So fortunately, we don't have to do as much in the marketing side these days, even when the market's a bit slow. But I think I always like to think of the magic. You can still apply the magic to the economics of it too, because show me something in the stock market, or show me a mutual fund where you can really make that much money with little risk. Because think about it, I mean, all those deposits are insured by the province. So if the project doesn't go ahead, if the builder goes out of business, which is unlikely with these size of builders, but the worst case scenario is the province ensures that you get your money back, right?
So you're safe that way.
So it's a great upside and really no downside. Right?
Well, Hunter, thank you very much. I appreciate this.
Yeah, take care. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Take care, guys. Thank you so much.